Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I will be speaking on freedom of speech and internet restriction. I begin my presentation with a question. Should internet content be allowed to be restricted? Part of America's beauty is that each citizen is entitled to the right to freely express themselves together with their individual opinion. If the government was to restrict freedom of speech, the United States would find itself falling into a socialistic government. A perfect example of restriction includes the SOPA, or the Stop Online Piracy Act. The SOPA was created with the intent of filtering out material from the Internet the government might seem objectionable or questionable. Our forefathers fought so that our nation would have freedom of speech. If the SOPA would have been established, this freedom would have been impeded. SOPA would have been a violation of the Constitution's First Amendment. In censoring the Internet, it removes the vast information and its availability. When the Internet was first created, it was done with the sole purpose of providing large volumes of information worldwide. If the government was to restrict freedom of speech, the United States would find itself falling into a socialistic government. A socialistic government would in turn control society and its members' ideas. Just imagine if this act would have taken effect. If officials would have had the authority to block material, it would have been allowed at any time or as seen fit. Think, if you will, how it would feel to be controlled and told how to feel and behave. In taking freedom of speech from our world would be limited, and our hands would be tied, and human beings would be as mere puppets, and choices would be blocked. Individuality would no longer exist, being told what can and cannot be said and done. Thus, the richness which greatly contributes to the society in which we live would be no more. The human voice would be silenced, and humanity would have to fit into a mold. Article 19 states that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. The right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to speak, receive, and impart information and ideas. This would be done through any media and regardless of frontiers. Take away freedom from our land and its core would lie in ruins. The foundation of our country was established on the principle of freedom. Many foreigners have immigrated to the United States because of the freedom our land possesses. A very famous quote from one of our founding fathers, President John Quincy Adams, stated the following: "The world becomes very limited. The jaws of power are always open to devour, and her arm is always stretched out, if possible, to destroy the freedom of thinking, speaking, and writing." According to House Bill 2361, Republican Lamar S. Smith stated that the World Wide Web's purpose is to promote prosperity, creativity, entrepreneurship, and information. Internet censorship did not come into being immediately, but slowly came from other countries. Many fear that along with censorship, our way of life as we know it would be greatly affected. Censorship of the web on a global scale would affect privacy and would cause ignorance. We must remember that our freedom did not come free. Our freedom was purchased at a very costly price. Those that came before us fought so that we would be free. Many have fought in wars, and much blood has been shed, leading to the death of many, for the freedom our country now possesses. Illuministic organizations are partly to blame, a secret society whose sole goal is to control and filter content and material so that America will only see things according to them. Common websites could be closed down, leading to the termination of many jobs. In viewing the dictionary's definition of freedom of speech and what it stands for, it can be defined in the following way. The right of each American person to express their opinions or beliefs without government interference or restraint. On the other hand, there are in fact benefits that would arise as a result of restriction on freedom of speech. Benefits include limiting offensive content and material, which may in turn cause controversy among various groups. For example, immorality, low morals, no values, and degradation towards the central family unit. America's greatest strength lies in the freedom available to its citizens, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, personal and economic freedom. Everyone interprets freedom in a different way, but regardless of their interpretation, people in this nation have the right to choose their thoughts and decisions. In closing, I leave you with this final thought. Should we as residents and citizens of this nation speak out to protect our freedom and First Amendment, allowing us to post and express ourselves? Or should we allow censorship, which would only be the beginning of imposed limitations? You decide.